Hey yo, my Planet friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another episode of Ride Spotlight Bundle Edition. That is right, we have a jam-packed episode full of really cool stuff. We're going to be looking at a ghost train ride, followed up by Horror Heights, a very fancy looking Horror Heights at that. And we're going to be finishing things off with a fun go-kart track. So plenty of cool stuff in store for today, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned and let's dive right on into these creations. All right, welcome back everyone. Hope you're all doing well today. Today's episode is brought to you by our patrons. All three of these creators are patrons. Thank you guys so much for your support. We're doing a bit of a Patreon week as well. If you guys would like to get featured first, have priority on the show, check out our Patreon program. Or if you just like to support the show because of all the videos and contests that we do, we would definitely appreciate your support so we can ramp up more content. All right, with that out of the way, let's dive right onto the first creation of the day, which is the Depot, created by Seblines, one of our Discord legend builders and diamond patrons, and here they say, so you want more rides to spotlight? Here's the Depot, a pirate themed dark ride blueprint which was intended for Candyland but wasn't finished in time. The backstory is as follows. Captain Jawbreaker has stolen all the candy and is up to find the legendary golden gobstopper and to steal it back. Twist and turn through his pirate base and try not to be spotted. I hope you enjoy. Oh my gosh, for Candyland. Ooh, this will be cool. Let's jump into it. Here we are. Now, this was created for Candyland originally, or intended to, and it would have fit Candy Cove perfectly. It's quaint, it's small, it could have fit on the side of the cove. Damn, that would have been a nice addition. That is too bad. But look how many freaking trains are running on this thing. This is amazing. So it is the Ghost Train Hoax, and there's a look at all the stats if you want to see them. We're just going to jump right on. Okay, off we go. Holy moly, that is super impressive to me how much track you fit in there. I didn't even look at the track length. That's only 400 meters, but I guess this thing travels at like 9 miles an hour. So it seems like it's a lot longer than it actually is. That's what she said. Wow. It's shanty, it's piratey, it's well lit, it's compact. A lot of track in there. Looks like it would have fit Candy Cove just perfectly. It's a little bit of a shame that it didn't quite make it in time, but there's one of the pfeffernesses. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love it. It's really good stuff, Seblines. We're gonna, I don't really have any feedback for you. I'm sad that this didn't get into Candyland. It was a great little ride. What did you guys think? Leave your comments down below for Seblines. And we're gonna move on to his next creation, which is Haven, created by Seblines, one of our Discord legends and Diamond patrons, yet again, back to back. And here he says, even the nicest towns have their deep, dark secrets, and Haven is no different. You're an alchemist returning home after a worrying letter from your father. The Order, a cult hell-bent on becoming the most powerful entity this side of the Danube, has replaced all the guilds, save for the alchemists. Your father suspects the Order is out to kill him and requested that you replace him with the the leader of the resistance. You look forward to seeing your father again as you trudge up the hill and the lodgings into the tower. Surely his warnings about death are grossly exaggerated. Heaven is a 4K compact Horror Heights dark ride. Dash through the alleys of the town and discover the dark secrets and conspiracies hidden beneath its surface. He says there's a custom file, and I would have gotten it off the Steam page if it was there. Let me see. It was there, so we got it. Let's do this. All right, Haven, I didn't set up the queue for this one, and it's a little unfortunate because the queue looks like it would be really good. Whoa, guys are falling out of buildings. But we're gonna walk up the queue, and you guys could just pretend that there's a floor underneath us. I'll just try to keep the camera a little bit higher up. We'll just kind of have our chin tilted a little bit. But the buildings, the foliage, the detailing, oh, we got some ground here. It looks just sensational. Absolutely amazing. Wait, so if the queue is taking us upward, unless this is the Horror Heights must be suspended. What? Why would that be a thing? Does it go under here? Oh. Wait, so we went all the way up just to go back down to ground level again? That's a little confusing. But I'll take it. It makes the queue really interesting, doesn't it? I was kind of confused because I was thinking, why would the Horror Heights be suspended? But now we know... Oh, whoa. Ah, we're in the Horror Heights. There it is. Gonna get a run over here. Okay. It has been running since the beginning of the episode, so there shouldn't be any hitches or issues. So we're just gonna let this thing catch up to us. If you guys want to see the stats for any reason, there they are. And let's get right on it. We're gonna sit in the middle seat, and we go. Horror Heights. What? Whoa, that was really freaking good. Wow. It told the story. I love the knights barging in. The scenes are really good. Reminds me of something out of Dishonored. His back's turned and the books start floating. The doors open up and there's this creepy Greebly and then the room's full of guts. And wow. Don't mess with the alchemist. Do not mess with the alchemist, you guys. The scenes are really well put together. It's a murder mystery. This is neat. They're really well detailed. The animatronics are great. I love the fact that you got these kind of windows so we can see into the Horror Heights from the outside as like the doors open up. It makes it really interesting. Like if this was full of guests and you were walking up to this from the outside, you could kind of get a hint of what you were going to see. And I really like that concept of making it almost like a 4D Horror Heights where you can see it from other perspectives. I really appreciate that. That's actually a first. That's the first time I've seen that. The outside of it looks just beautiful. Like if you're making any fantasy medieval style park, this has to go in. And man, Horror Heights are just really awesome rides to have in your park. From the theming to the actual experience, they're like they're like riding a ride. You know, they're not just a flat ride where you spin around in a circle. You have to really animate these scenes and make it worthwhile. It's one of those things where you plop it down your park and you're not like, there we go, there's another attraction. No, you're gonna plop it down in your park and then you're gonna ride it. And it makes you like want to visit your own park. You know, you're like, oh, here I am in my section of the park that I put this. Let's go ride the Horror Heights. You know, it's just a nice, it's the best ride in the game by far. Other than coasters and rides, of course, it's the best flat ride. I love it. That's a really superb job on this one, Seblines. Yet again, what did you guys think? Leave your comments down below for Sebi, and we're going to move on to the last creation of the day. Wild Racers, created by Shane Turner, one of our Discord advanced builders and Ruby patrons. And here he says, welcome to Wild Racers. Can you handle this? Can you handle the turns and obstacles of this track? It's a multi-themed go-kart that's designed for a bit of mad racing across 2 laps. This makes use of the studio's vintage and Ghostbuster packs, as well as the main game pieces to provide interesting experience whether it's day or night, although this is a nighttime lighting across the build. The ride is designed to hopefully make pathing fairly simple. Watch out, the ride is likely to be pretty popular with the park guests due to its rating and prestige. There are a few facilities for the guests as well as part of this blueprint. Watch out for the bends though, they're pretty sharp, and places that may result in spin outs. Good luck and enjoy. Okay, let's check it out. So Shay Turner is one of our Discord moderators, keeping the peace in Discord, helping people out. He's the Wikipedia of Discord. He knows everything. He knows what's going on, and he's a huge longtime supporter of the show. As a Ruby patron, you are an absolute legend, Shane Turner. Thank you for all your tremendous support. So we're going to try to give Shane as much feedback as we can, help him along his way. He doesn't build that often, and you know, and he's always trying to improve. So you know, maybe what we got to do one day, Shane, is showcase some of your City Skylines builds or something, because that's the game I see Shane playing all the time. He is a big fan of City Skylines. I would like to see some images or something of the cities that you're building. Your queue, I actually shortcut it. I think this part here is a little bit repetitive. It's a bit too much. And here I would like to see some more racing stuff in here, some flags, some posters on the walls, and some imagery. Something a little bit more to make the queue a little bit more interesting. But here we are at the go-karts. Oh, perfect. They're just taking off. We're going to type in Bollard. For those of you who don't know, Bollard will make it so you can race the go-karts manually. And is there a number 5? Or is there a blue one? Shane, you didn't add a blue car. Okay, we're just going to make this really interesting and go like the very last car. Okay, we are in control. Let's try and race this. Bam, 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 bam. Ooh. All right, I'll try to look around a little bit as we go as well. Pass them on the outside, pass them on the inside. No. Oh. There's those tricky corners. I still don't... 4 years of Planet Coaster, and I still don't understand the skid-out mechanics, and it'll always be a mystery to me. Hey, how did you teleport through me? What is happening here? We got a traffic jam. This area might be a little bit too tight. All the racers are struggling. Okay. Nice opening stretch here. And we have 1 lap to take this. No! Off to a bad start. Jeez. Come on. Ooh. Some glitchy stuff is happening on this one. That is the problem with this skid-out mechanic. I feel like every one time I want to step on it and really make some moves, pass some people, that's when it decides to skid out. So you kind of just have to drive at a mediocre pace and accept losing. But I will not accept defeat. Not today. Oh. Oh, we almost had it. It feels like the corners are teleporting us or something. Okay, we lost. I think we got 3rd place. Yeah, that guy's doing a victory lap. She's 2nd, I'm 3rd. No one's sitting in that one. I'll take it. From 19th to 3rd. So let's talk about it. Shane Turner. I think the actual aesthetics of these buildings aren't that bad. They're quite nice. I like the glass windows and everything that you've done here. And the lighting is really nice. I like the nighttime lighting. It has this kind of racetrack vibe about it. You put some yellow strips and stuff. Now, what I would say is these brick walls, they're very like encompassing and claustrophobic. And I think they're appropriate on the inside where the buildings are, but not so much on the outside. Is it all one object? It is. So my biggest suggestion to you would be to knock out the outside walls. And let me see if I can marquee it. Yeah, I would knock out some of these outer walls because it's looking too boxy, right? And you want to avoid your builds looking like just a big box with a ride inside. And you get the gist of it. I knocked down these walls. And with that, it gives you an opportunity to do some exterior decorating. And I think just having like little stands, bleachers, people, animatronics, something like that to make it that kind of Coliseum racing vibe. And then having little tires and stuff around the outside, flags, sponsorships, TV screens, things, all sorts of things like that. I think that would really help. And with this building that you have going up here, you could actually do some elevation. As you can see, the track is actually one level. Okay, maybe it goes up at this point. Yes, see, I like this. We go into the building and then we go back down. This is the only part that's elevated in your creation, and it's probably the most interesting part. And why is that? Because it's going up and over the queue and it's creating a little bit of complexity and depth. So with that, you know, you could weave it back around another way, or you could find another way to make a bridge, a crossover section. So rather than like right now, your track, you've tried to make it like it's a perfect grid. You were kind of filling it out and going, how do I fill this in? Whereas I think if you go more organic, where maybe it's doing a helix up and it comes down and around and then it passes under that helix, does a swivel, and then maybe goes up and through the building and then back around it through the building. You know, there's different ways you can weave and weave and bob that track around and in an organic fashion where you don't have to just use the 90-degree turns all the time. Try to go a little bit more organic with it and try to do 15-degree angles, longer turns. I think even just coming out here like this and it goes like one big circle and then back in, and maybe it's going uphill and passes through itself and back down. You know, there's a lot of things you could do just to avoid this box shape and make it more organic. And then having that open side, and maybe if it's doing a big circle here, you could create another big tower there. And that tower will create like a landmark, a focal point, and, you know, separate it a little bit. And then we have our bleachers in the center, and maybe it comes around and does something over here, and then they have another tower. Now you bring it together and you have a lot of different height, because you have some things that peeking up, which makes it interesting to the eyes. Then you have larger towers in the back, and you know, people watch it like observatories, I guess. And then you know, maybe you could even sneak in a flat ride there. One of the flat rides is a literal observatory. Then you just create a little bit more dynamic points of interest for your eyes. And I also think knocking out these front walls would be good too, and then littering some tires, flags, and things around, because as we're coming up to this, we don't see the race itself, and we're not getting excited, right? We want to see those flags, those TV screens, those all the different things you can come up with, big giant tires, and all the fun racing doodads that the game has. Maybe even for this entrance here, you could do a bunch of flags and pile of tires, some cars. A first, second, third place stand would be pretty much perfect fitting here. But I would again knock this wall out, because if we knock this wall out, this gives us an opportunity to either put the first, second, third place winners here or back here. And then as we're getting into the queue, we can see the go-karts ripping by. We can see the first place, second, and then all these celebrations, confetti going off. You could even put one of those big champagne bottles, some flashing lights, you know, a lot of little colors here, and it looks more celebratory, and it starts getting you excited for the race that's ahead. Have a couple flags and banners and archways coming through here, ribbons strung across, and then we're getting into that vibe, and then dress up that queue along the inside. And those, I think that's a lot right there, but it's also you know, it's also taking away some, opening it up a little bit, changing up the track to make it a little bit more organic, adding some height. And those would be all my pointers. But with all that said, I think this is one one of your strongest creations thus far. I think the buildings themselves, the glass, the lighting, they're looking really good. Still, you're still falling into the same pitfalls with repeating everything. You could switch things up once in a while and put like a little thing in between, maybe delete every other light, and it doesn't need to be so heavy on the repetitive, but I still think it's an improvement. You add these little peaks of interest to break it up. So definitely one of your stronger builds so far, and the nighttime lighting is definitely spot on. I like this nighttime lighting. It screams, you know, city, racing, all that good stuff. It's solid. So a lot of improvements and some pointers for you in the future. And if anyone else has some feedback or advice, leave it down below for Shane Turner, or just let him know what you thought of his go-karts. And there we go. So that is 2 creations from Seblines here today. Our Legend Builder, Diamond Patron, and Shane Turner, our Advanced Builder and longtime Ruby supporter. 2 absolute amazing guys in this community. Thank you both so much for your support. Once again, if you guys would like to support the show, check out the Patreon program. Links are down in the description below. And that pretty much wraps it up for today's episode. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.